It is Contanex here, back with another video, and oh, my lips are so crusty. As you can clearly see, this is Terra. If you don't know who Terra is, leave this video, cause most people should already know who this is. And if you only know her from Teen Titans Go, also leave this video, because I'm referring to Terra from the OG Teen Titans. And not the comic book series, because the Terra in there, she's like a completely different character from the one I'm talking about here. That one is just no, we don't talk about her. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do here is a redo on what if Deku had Terra's powers, because you can actually thank one of the subscribers, because they were really wondering about that series, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a remake of that series, because when I was originally doing it, I was like in my hot garage doing this, because it was like the most quiet place at the time, and I was way too hot. Okay. So I'm gonna just put the music on and stop rambling now, because I think it's been like over a minute now. Yeah, almost 2 minutes. Let's go. Alright, so here's how this is going to work. When when Azuku was born, his mother was not actually Inko here. Instead, it was somebody else. This was an American woman. She had blonde hair, blue eyes, and she was pretty well known in the villain society and hero society as well. She was pretty infamous, honestly. Why, you may ask? It's pretty simple, honestly. It's because she was incredibly strong. She had an incredibly strong quake, which allowed her to manipulate the earth, essentially. Well, sort of. She also had geokinesis quake, but it went a bit further than that. It wasn't simply like the Avatar sort of geokinesis, or like earthbending, I guess. More like she was able to manipulate rock, manipulate crystal, wood, all those sort of stuff. And needless to say, yeah, she was pretty overpowered. She was incredibly strong, but the reason why she even became a villain in the first place was because she had a pretty terrible past. I mean, she was like the illegitimate child of a hero, and well, her mother died during childbirth, so she never really did know her mother. She would live with her grandmother. Her grandmother would always tell her about how wonderful of a person her mother was, and how it was all because of her the reason why she died. She, needless to say, did not like her family all that much. And yeah, I'm just making a whole different origin for her here, as you guys can clearly tell. And eventually, Terra just had enough of her grandmother. She had enough of her terrible existence, and she turned to a life of crime. She wanted to actually feel loved, and she realized that it was in the streets that she would feel loved. No, I'm not saying that she became a hooker or anything. No. Instead, I'm trying to say that, well, she would start committing crimes along other villains. They actually seemed to appreciate her. Her crimes became so terrible to the point where she was one of the most wanted criminals in the US. But with how her crimes are going, she was constantly moving. She never stayed in one place for long. She ended up actually meeting this one dude though. His name was Hisashi Midoriya. And here's something. He was the one that seemed to care for her the most. She had no idea that he was a police detective. No, not a police detective, but actually, she had no idea that he was an undercover cop. When basically what ended up happening is that they became a bit too close, if you get what I'm saying. They became kind of intimate over the next couple of months. The next thing Terra knew, she was pregnant. When Hisashi found this out, he just left for Japan. He brought her alongside him and kind of quit his job as a police officer midway. Or at least that's what he told her. But no. What ended up happening is Hisashi continuously lied to her, always manipulating her in order to get what he wanted throughout the relationship. Once he found out that she was pregnant, she was just so happy that she would be bearing Hisashi's child that she didn't even realize, what was really happening behind the scenes. She didn't realize that no, Hisashi was just leading her into a trap. So she ended up actually getting arrested while she was in Japan. She was actually captured by some other heroes, like All Might. Here are the heroes who were able to actually subdue her. They were All Might, Endeavor, and Best Genist. Yeah, those seem like good people to use. Anyways, of course, Terra was upset, especially when she found out that Hisashi never truly loved her. That he only did this for the job. Uh, she actually was arrested. She was brought to Tartarus. But for her child Azuku, when she actually ended up giving birth to Azuku, Hisashi never wanted him. He didn't want to be. He didn't want any involvement with a villain, such an infamous villain like Terra. So, of course, Azuku was put up for adoption. Azuku, he had a rough childhood. He had a very rough childhood as well. He didn't even know either one of his parents, to be honest. And when he was 4 years old, that's when he awoke. That's when his quirk had awoken. Next thing you know, he started lifting up a whole bunch of rock. He actually made a whole platform. He was basically able to lift up a boulder, and he was able to fly on it. His peers would look at him in awe, but then they would start to realize, hold up, this quirk reminds me of somebody. Then they realize, oh snap, this guy has the same quirk as that super infamous villain, Terra. And so Azuku was picked on for this. Azuku was picked on for the fact that he had the same quirk as a villain. Not only that, but he also shared some similarities to that villain as well. Some people were even thinking that, hey, maybe this guy is actually her kid. Oh my gosh. This is a villain's child. Oh no, I'm gonna stay away from him. So, of course, Azuku had become so antisocial, mainly because nobody would talk to him. Well, sort of. Most people either didn't even look at him, or those who actually said anything to him, they were just harsh comments saying how he should die. He was the child of a villain. He didn't belong in this world. He was a mistake. If you're wondering, Izuku has blonde hair with green tips in this. He has blonde hair and he has blonde hair and green highlights. He still has a curly hair. And as for his eye color, let's say it's blue as well. He takes more after his mother than Hisashi here. We're just gonna say that. Of course, many people did not like Azuku because of all other things that Terra had done. But Azuku didn't even know who his mother was. He didn't know anything about Terra, the infamous villain. He didn't even know who his mother was, or his father. All he knew was that he had lived in an orphanage for as long as he could remember. Years would go by. Azuku would continuously train his quake. And then one day, that's when a couple people ended up walking into the orphanage. They actually adopted Azuku here. If you're wondering who, I think the name of them were like the Hero Public Safety Commission. Basically, the people who had seemingly adopted hawks, I think. I'm sorry that I'm going into manga spoilers, but it's for the sake of the story. I'll just probably title the video that it has some manga spoilers in there. But anyways, when it came on to how Azuku was, I'm going to say that Azuku was ecstatic when he found out that, oh my gosh, people are here for me? These guys are going to adopt me? The people who ran the Hero Public Safety Commission realized just how strong of an asset Azuku could be, considering just how powerful of a quirk he had, and looking at just how powerful Terra was, and realizing that quirks get stronger over the years, over the generations. Azuku could have possibly inherited an even stronger version of Terra's quirk. So, of course, they decided to adopt the little kid. Azuku is like, I'm going to say he's 8 here. So, Azuku had like 4 years to really train his quirk by himself. But when it came on to the Hero Public Safety Commission, they were like, okay, we're going to train you up to where you are going to be incredibly powerful. And they realized that we cannot just let another one slip by. They realized that the US had made a mistake with Terra, so they weren't going to allow this sort of mistake to happen here. They were going to turn Izuku into a hero of the sorts. more years would go by, 6 years actually, the Hero Public Safety Commission didn't even have Azuku attend regular school. He was taught there. What do I mean by this? Basically, he was homeschooled. That's what I was looking for. He was essentially homeschooled by these people, this organization. Azuku would have quite a bit of knowledge beyond his years because of all of the things that he learned from the Hero Public Safety Commission, how to become a hero, and all of this. All of these different intricate parts of being a hero and how to use your quirk to the point where Azuku was almost completely different from in canon. The only things that really stay the same for Azuku are the fact that he is a bit nervous around people. Azuku has a bit of a stutter still. He's pretty antisocial, honestly, and he still has this hero notebook. He was never informed about his mother or his father in this case, actually. They refused to tell him anything about his parents, saying that we don't know much about your parents either. All we know is that we decided to adopt a kid and it turned out to be you. That's pretty much how I'm gonna end it. At least end his backstory here. I'm going to probably title this part 0. And you all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm going to end the video off here. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. King Tyrex out. Oh wait, actually, before I end this, remember to tell me what techniques you want to see Azuku use here. And yes, Terra will be back in the picture eventually. I refuse to just let it go like that. King Tyrex out.